welcome to the Red Alert 3 livecast. I'm GBH Michael, and this is going to be game number 1 of the finals of the For the Win number 48 tournament. On the left of the map we have the Cyan Soviet player. It is Dimon. And on the right of the map we have the Red Allies player. It is none other than Pika. So Dimon versus Pika on Infinity Isle. Classic matchup that I'm sure we've seen many times before, especially even between these two. But either way, it's going to be barracks first for both players. Not going to see seeing an airfield first out of the Allies. Just going to be seeing barracks and going for their own respective oil derricks to begin with. So let's see how this progresses. Now, one thing that I've noticed from Pika on this map is he generally likes to go for his airfield quite quickly in comparison to other players. Could it be after the first refinery or simply after the barracks? He likes to mix it up that way. So I would not expect. I would expect to see something like that this game from him. But nevertheless, it's get a bear scout off. He's just going to try and see what's going on from his opponent over here. Sees a few peacekeepers, but not too much, and he doesn't really want to overcommit at this stage. Just getting some conscripts up, and by the looks of it, by the looks of how this is going, maybe it's going to be a swarm of bears after this, trying to go for a huge. A lot of pressure with this conscripts and bears to begin with. But as we're not seeing any bears as of yet, maybe not. It's a very powerful move, but if you're going for that, generally you'd only go for about 5 or 6 conscripts before the bear spam starts. This time only going for the single bear, one on the back as well. But now the airfield is out, so this will be able to defend this with some good bomb splits. So for now it doesn't look like Dimon is looking to try and engage for now. He's just falling back and looking to regroup. Can't really find an opening at this stage in the game. So Pika moving forward with the MCV, going for the high ground expansion, which is the safer one to be honest, especially for the Soviets who can get terror drones so early on. This one is of course defended by this narrow choke, the one which you want to go to early on in the game. So 2 bullfrogs now out. In play out of Dimon here. Pika just coming in, trying to pick off any target he can. Goes for a bear. Why not? I mean, it's a scouting unit. If that's taken out, you can't just send it over here to get good map vision at the top for the time being. And of course, it's picking off the other scout to stop the vision from his other player. Nice force fire on the ground there. Oh, nice. But both players doing very nice, Michael. There, maybe not. Too obvious. I mean, focus fire the Molotov on the ground there to try and stop the peacekeeper while it was in shield mode, but taking off at the last second to get in the garrison. Nice micro. Although, yeah, Pika did come out on the back foot there, slightly having to pay a little bit more for the peacekeepers than the conscripts. But bombing run comes off on the collector there. How much infantry is in this? Are in these? So 7 conscripts. Looking to do a little bit of damage on these walls, maybe to damage a refinery that little bit. I wouldn't expect it to get a kill, especially without a terror drone here to get the infection. There it is finally now. So maybe he's going to be able to get the infection with that now. But Sickle comes into play as well. Will just help out on the ground against any peacekeepers which come in. And Cryocopter now out in play. And without anything to defend the main base, if this even goes down, that is. Okay, barely managing to keep that Cryocopter alive, but I mean, a single bullfrog to defend this now, and that should be enough to heal. Of course, he doesn't want to waste the bombs on the Sickle when a bullfrog's coming out. Now, this is going to be the target. He wants to. What is he doing? Why go for the Sickle? Oh, that's a shame. I was expecting the Cryocopter harassment, and you need that bullfrog, but nevertheless, comes in for a lot of. Comes in with all these conscripts, brings the terror drone into play as well. Cryocopter is going to probably get picked off here. There's nothing to really defend against these bullfrogs. And likewise, one of the Vindicators goes down as well. Sickle focusing down the other twin blitz, the other Vindicators, not allowing it to lift off with these bullfrogs out in play as well. And this is surely that's surely going to be game. I mean, there's too much damage that's been dealt against the Allies, but even losing a refinery in the meantime, this is going to be impossible to replace. And Dimon even trying to get his 4th refinery up, misplaced, but nonetheless, but getting his 4th refinery up against someone with 2 refineries so early on in the game. Yes, the Cryocopter is out, but I mean, what good is a Cryocopter if you don't have any units to back it up? And with just a few peacekeepers, that's not going to be enough. Super reacting now coming out. So that was 2 refineries on the back of 2 small power plants. So Nice pick off of that Bullfrog there. But now the last Vindicator, the last hope in the skies falls from the Allies player over there. Gets another barracks up, realizing he needs some infantry out, and packing up his MTV, realizing he needs to get this refinery back up. But 4 refineries versus 2, Dimon is in excellent shape. Even having a vision of the MCV moving down to the low ground again means that there's not going to be any turrets on the front line. So the signal runs right in, and this will be looking to get the turret run even going for the infection here right now. Doesn't want to get sniped by this peacekeeper. Has to be careful there. Gets dangerously low, but should surely get the infection up without too many issues there. So airfield coming out, and there it is. Pika just was too far behind, and Dimon takes the win. Quick win on Infinity Isle, and brings the score to 1-0 in his favour. Hello and welcome to another Red Alert 3 livecast. I am GBH Michael, and this is going to be game number 2 of the finals of this For the Win Number 48 event. Now on the bottom left of Fire Island, this time we're going to see the red Allies player. It is Pika versus the blue Soviet player at the top right. It is none other than Dimon. Dimon versus Pika game 2. So Dimon winning game number 1 quite convincingly, to be honest. Pika not quite knowing how to react to that sort of play. So Pika's map of choice is going to be Fire Island, starting with the fast barracks, starting with the fast engineer. While Dimon going for the fast war factory, expecting some sort of fast airplay, and knows that it's very powerful. Fast airplay is very, very powerful in this map. So he's just preempting that and going for the fast war factory. Now, of course, the dog scout shouldn't have really gone in like this. Of course, the dog coming in right away does essentially allow the Soviet player to know that it's going to be a fast war factory. He doesn't have to move all the way in. He could know what sort of build it is by just even coming into here and not seeing any infantry. That would tell him that it's a fast war factory. But nevertheless, goes for the turret drone anyway, and will be looking to try and see what's going on. But the fast airfield behind all of this as well will mean that surely this turret drone will get picked off as soon as he comes in and realizing what is going on. So Bullfrog, Sickle actually first. So Sickle's before any Bullfrogs there. So all of this was of course just the scouting turret drone, just to make sure he knew exactly what was going on, allowing him to know what to do, what to build. But going for the Sickle as well, regardless, a little bit of a waste, considering we can just put that on hold. Nevertheless, builds a Sickle, and this will be able to clear out a little bit of the infantry to begin with. Few peacekeepers moving forward, and both players just moving forward as well. Both players just moving forward as well for their expansions. So only that single Vindicator is out so far. Pika looking to try and get his expansion quite quickly, not looking to try and get the attacking units out as of yet. But nice shield Michael trying to just get this Sickle down to one bomb ability, or one Vindicator ability. So it can die by one Vindicator, that is. We're lifting off this turret drone. That was a risky move there. It might get picked up by this peacekeeper, just gets saved. Crisis averted for the Soviet player there. But this Vindicator's coming in, getting the scout off, seeing what's what. And we should now be seeing, probably, I would expect, third refinery from the Allies player. And the turret to pick off the turret drones as they come in to try and get the harassment off there. Nice nicer timing on the placement of that turret there. Picks up 2 free turret drones. Nice move. Of course, Dimon also going for his third refinery now. And Dimon moving on the other side, to try and find an opening against this collector in the center. Of course, the turret is now available again, so wherever this army tries to engage, there will be a turret to try and pick off these Bullfrogs and Sickles quite quickly. This, of course, will be the safer expansion to attack, because the turret will not be able to engage there. But this just shows the incredible length of the range of the MCV. You can build all the way over here. That's insane. But 2 sickles will mean this character will fall eventually. But Dimon, once again, building his refinery off point. Now, I've got to say, he's the only player who I've actually seen do this. He's the only player who... I mean, yes, you get your refinery up, and maybe it'll be okay to get a crane, get the crush on the collector, and build the refinery again later. Oh, but the Pterodon gets 3! How many javelins is he going to get? 3 free javelins for nothing. Okay, for the price of a Pterodon egg, he gets 4. But yeah, so going up to tier 2 now is Dimon, and just moving out, getting a single collector kill. Might go for this one as well, as there isn't a turret quite ready yet. He doesn't know that, so he is going for the collector, and an engineer moving this way. This has got to be a mistake. This has got to be a mistake. What is this about? Okay, the engineer moves back. That's better. But 2 bullfrogs are picked up by the turret there. Nice placement of that there. And just picking off 2 free units. But now we're going to be seeing Pika go for his 4th refinery out in the water there. I would hope placed correctly, as this one clearly isn't. Yeah, I mean, simply if you get a Pterodon, this would die, he would have a Pterodon, and you would be able to build a refinery correctly. I don't think that would be a bad move, to be honest. But Bullfrog does go down and jumps the sickle to try and get to safety, but that wasn't his target, so the Bullfrog did indeed fall. Here, finally the engineer goes to the correct place. We'll get the capture on that oil derrick over there. And finally the bear will come out and deal with this dog. So 4th refinery out, and the naval yard also had to protect against Pterodons from Pika over here. So 4 refineries apiece, except Dimon's is a little bit wonky. Airfield, of course, also out of the Soviet player. Going for the engineer, does get picked off nicely though, out of Pika there. So now fully aware of the airfield as well, so we will be able to know that there is a possibility for MiGs and Twin Blades to come out any time now. Moving the sickle, jumping it past the turret into the position of this refinery will mean you can get some nice harassment off for now. Of course, the Vindicator is reloading. Well, should be reloading shortly. Trying to find a path back, at least. And the sickle. Okay, another Vindicator comes out to save the day. With 2 dolphins moving around the side, looking to harass this refinery. But to be honest, if I were Pika, I wouldn't destroy the refinery. I would just kill the collector and allow him to rebuild the collector again with a misplaced refinery. I think that would probably be the better way to go, because he's mining very slowly off that. So a tank comes in yet again, just to try and stop the retreat. Oh, but low power will not quite stop the retreat of this turret here. It will just get away to safety there. Now just the Twin Blades and Bullfrogs out in play out of Dimon here. Twin Blades should be able to save this refinery. I mean, you could just simply rebuild the refinery here, keep the collector alive, keep this collector mining in the meantime, sell off the refinery when it's rebuilt. That would be better than getting another refinery, surely. Have a crane, crush the collector. Why not? But Pika just picking off one of the oil derricks on the right with some javelin troopers, and as an Apollo to stop the inevitable Twin Blade Bullfrog harassment, which he knows is coming. Well, gets quite a lot of damage off on 2 of the Bullfrogs there. Makes them easy targets for 2 of the Vindicators should decide to go in and attack this and defend, which is probably the better way to go. But instead, loses... I'm not really sure what died here. But it looks like 3 units, probably Soviet units died here while trying to run in to do some harassment. But the collector does fall, and another collector falls as well. So, decent harassment from the Soviet player, but of course loses a Twin Blade in the process. So, a little bit careless with his micro there. Naval Yard coming out, trying to go for some cooler subs, as we saw him do previously in the game against DP Fantasy, just to stop the Allies' Naval Yard and the Naval Refinery. But the Twin Frog, being uncontested in the water over here, does pick up a free power plant. So Bear just getting a nice scout off there, does find 4 free juicy Javelin Troopers. We'll take those off for free there. Now, of course, Dimon going to be going up to 5 refinery. Well, I'm going to say 4.75. This isn't the full refinery. But Dimon in great shape. Pika doesn't really have very much. He really doesn't have that many units. He's got 4 refineries mining. He's still on tier 1. He doesn't have anything really. Pika's, well, he's got these air units, fine, but he doesn't have much else. And Dimon just simply, he's got 4.75 refineries, and he's getting the cooler subs to harass the water. He has his twin frog army round the back, and he can just build up in the meantime. Definitely a great position for Dimon. But nice use of the Hydra Fall to force this Twin Frog back. Oh, and coupling it with these IFVs here, might get a free kill off on one of these Twin Blades. Nice pick off from Pika there. Could get a second one if he's paying attention. With his cooler sub, not quite paying attention either. Does not kill his collector. Forced off the line and saved by Pika for now. But unusual MCV placement out of Dimon there. I think he might be trying to go for an MCV push. But decides to take out the barracks first. This is going to be trying to build seemingly a Tesla colony in his opponent's base, with some tanks and all that behind it. So Riptide coming in through the center. Does it have anything inside it? Engineer inside it. Is he trying to go and capture this super reactor? This could be huge. Well, finally he notices it, but is there anything to stop this in time? I don't think there is. This super reactor is going to get sold off. Excellent move out of Pika there. And to be honest, that was necessary. That was needed. He's really far behind. He needed a clutch move to come back into that game, and that might have just been it. He's still far behind though. Dimon, without a doubt, is ahead in the economic front, in the army front, in every single way. So that is not enough to win him the game by any means. But it will delay, and it will put Dimon that little bit behind for a while. But Pika still has to get some real work done, and he has to get it done quickly. So another engineer. Is he thinking about doing a similar move again? Maybe going for this refinery at the top with some protected. I'm not sure if he was aware of it actually, but it could work. A few tanks starting to be produced now, but against the army of the tanks from his opponent, there are just simply more Soviet tanks. Saying this though, as the super reactor is now down, tank production's halted by the Soviet players, so this might be the time for Pika to attack if he really wants to get some damage in. Engineer coming in yet again in another Riptide, trying to go around the side, trying to find a target, probably going for this refinery. Like I mentioned, I would hope he wouldn't go to all that trouble for the observation post. But moving in yet again, super reactor is now being rebuilt more or less. So tank production will start again. But the Vindicators come in to try and pick up a target. I'm not quite sure what, but one of them does go down. Vindicators has fallen. Riptide comes in for the MCV capture, trying to get the MCV. Will he manage to get it or not? He does. Great move out of Pika there. Sells off Soviet MCV and moves in for the push. Cryoblast comes down, coupled with his entire army. Will this be enough to make him come back into this game? Now, a lot of the tanks of the Soviet player have fallen, but at the same time, so has the Allies force. Now, it was only really just a few tanks remaining, but that was a great move out of Pika there. In the meantime, though, Twin Blades and MiGs come in, get some harassment on some of these collectors. One of them does go down. I believe only one of them so far. Second one has fallen as well, actually. So good multi-forms harassment from both these players. Engineer comes in yet again from the Soviet sell-off, trying to get the capture of this top left refinery. Will the Twin Blade get here in time or not? Okay, he's noticed it. Soviet going going for the Collector Crush. Does save the day. But nice use of Engineers is... Whoa. Sells off the armor facility. Maybe... Is he that strapped for cash? I guess he must have been. Twin Blades come in yet again for more harassment. And there's so many of them. Picks up the Collector right in one. And now it looks like the plan of action for Pika is just going to be infantry spam. And just using whatever vehicles he has for now. But if he's going to be doing that, he doesn't want to waste any of them. All of them are crucial. Comes in with all the Twin Blades yet again. Focuses down some of the tanks out of the Allies player. A couple of them do fall. Only 2 more do remain. And both of them fall to the hands of these tanks and Twin Blades there. A couple of 3 hammer tanks do move in. Get some crushes off on the infantry. Now only IFE's infantry remain. The MCV is alive and kicking. Trying to go for crushes. But you know when you see an Allies MCV go for crushes, it is a desperate attempt to try and come back in. It's a dire position for any Allies player to try and go for something like that. But does get some crushes off. No turret drone is out yet to try and stop this MCV in its tracks. And I mean, he's getting a lot of infantry in the meantime. He could fall back and repair this. He doesn't want to overcommit with his MCV at this stage. So a nice attempt to come back into this game, using the engineers to their fullest. But it doesn't look like it was enough. Pika has been defeated. Dimon will go up 2-0. Here we go, game number 3 between the green Soviet player on the left of Cabana Republic. It is Dimon versus the Allies player on the right. It is Pika. Currently down 2 games in the series. He's going to have a hard time getting back into this one. What is he going to do? He's going to start with his fast barracks. So this map for Allies generally has gone the way of naval player versus every faction, to be honest, in recent times. So I would expect it to probably go in the same way this time, but we're just going to be seeing the fast barracks to begin with. Only 2 bears moving around the side of the map, center of the map, and an engineer coming out for both players as well. He's going for the oil derricks. So the bears moving around, most likely going to be forced back because, of course, dogs are that little bit faster on land, a little bit easier to micro than bears. But just getting the refinery up first, and likewise the same, both refineries for anything from the from the Soviet player as well. There's a few more bears come out, a few more dogs come out, trying to just get to advance over to this engineer location at the top left, and this should be enough to actually take out the engineer. So nice move, nice start of this game for... Oh, that was a sloppy move out of Pika there. He's going to lose another one as well. Whoa! No bark. And he didn't move in with them both at the same... If he moved in with both dogs at the same time, that engineer died. That was sloppy. That was a bad move out of Pika. But Dimon keeps the engineer alive, and that's that. Both players get their own oil derricks, and now Pika in position to go for some Ripjav play. So in this, he's going to be retaking one oil derrick. Probably the one, well, it's going to be the one on the left, because I mean, of course, this one's already his. And he's going to be using the rest for some harassment in the main base of his Soviet opponents. Now, of course, one thing you could do, and it's something that we've seen Vindies do recently, is just use this engineer for aggressively instead of simply going for the oil derrick. Actually use it, move in with the other Riptide, and try and capture an important structure in the Soviet base. Now, of course, it can work. It's powerful, but it's a little bit more risky. Now, whoa. Gotta be careful with these javelin troopers here. I mean, bears are approaching. Do not want to lose that. Whoa, what is this? Collector comes out for the crush. Is he going to save the day? Yes, he is. That Collector is the MVP of this match. Nice Collector crushes to save all those javelin troopers. Risky move to begin with. I mean, you could have just put them inside the Riptide, but nevertheless, keeps them all alive. Nice move out of him there. Now the Pterodon comes out to try and find a way to stun this Riptide, but of course will be forced back by this Peacekeeper over here. So now both oil derricks are captured by are controlled by the Allies player at this time. And we're just seeing a lot of Riptides out, a lot of Javelin Troopers out for the Allies player. as he tries to get some sort of map presence. And of course, as I was saying, moving forward to the naval refinery, keeping one Riptide with it in case he needs... Ooh, what's this? Is it going to be an airfield? A little bit unusual decision to sell off that naval yard in the time he just has. But that's the only thing that could really mean to me is either a naval yard or an airfield. But the naval yard seemed a little bit odd since... Well, no, it can't be a naval yard. He just sold that off. It's got to be an airfield. It has to be, right? So moving forward with a tank, moving forward with a bullfrog, I'm sure he must be aware that this Riptides have javelin troopers in, so he doesn't want to overcommit with this tank. But there he goes anyway. The tank will indeed fall. Nice pick off from Dimon, from Pika there. Now we can just advance that little bit further. Picking off a single tank, very helpful. Just making the army that little bit smaller and easy to attack in the later stages in the game. Of course, Pika, Dimon moving up the high ground, trying to get a barracks up there, trying to get some, trying to get a third refinery up and running. But of course, that's going to be very difficult to hold if the javelin troopers can get into these buildings very shortly. That's why the barracks is out, to try and just take these garrisons as soon as possible. So the airfield is out, trying to get some Vindicators out. Probably to try and pick off reinforcements, it seems. But we'll take off this oil direct for now. And I'm surprised that we're seeing these tanks move forward and try and attack into this, because these tanks are not very good against Ripjav. He needs some bears, and the bears are coming out now, but it's a bit late. He needs to be very careful if he's attacking into this. Now I've got to hope that didn't have any javelin troopers in there. Thankfully it was one with nothing in there, but picks off one of the tanks with these Vindicators here now. And goes in for the MCV push. Scratch that though, the MCV has got stunned down. That will stop the approach of this MCV. Riptide can come in and save the day for now, of course, but goes in for the infection, meaning that he's going to have to go back and repair. Nice move out of Dimon there, catching that MCV push as he did. Now he's going to have to simply build more Vindicators in the meantime. But still only on 2 refineries are both players here. And there are plenty of bears out, so he doesn't want to overcommit with these javelin troopers. He wants to be careful, doesn't want to lose them to these roars, as he's just about to right now. But he has to focus down all of these bears really quickly. Very nice save on that javelin troopers there, but all of them go down. In fact, that was a huge loss. That was a very nice pick off from Dimon there. That was 5 javelin troopers that died there. And that, do you know, might just be the game-winning move. That was a huge loss for the Allies player. That was essentially his entire army gone. Now there's a couple of javelin troopers remain in this garrison, and without any sort of mobility with them, as you get from the Riptides, that's devastating. Yes, he has 4 Vindicators out, though. 4 Vindicators can make quick work of this entire Bullfrog force and a tank. Or this entire Bullfrog force now, that is. He has to be very careful. Good microwave can do that, of course. Pika fully able to do something like that. But now Pika, of course, does have that MCB available. Will be going for that 3rd refinery very shortly. There we go. 3rd refinery now out for the Allies player. With Dimon, that's a very scary force. 5 Bullfrogs and 2 tanks. That could push forward and do quite a bit of damage. So picks off the oil direct there, but not picking off any units, not picking off any of these Bullfrogs or the tanks. These tanks are going to be able to push forward and maybe even get into position to harass this refinery. So preemptively, Pika getting the barracks up, getting the turret up, looking to get his MCB into a good position to defend against this inevitable harassment which is coming up now. So very close to this turret there. That was dangerously close with that turret drone. But will indeed get the nice kill off the stun and orbital drop combination there. Nice pick off from Dimon. But loses the turret drone in the process. So 1 Bullfrog or tank. Whoa, was that both the tanks that fell? I think that was both the tanks that died. Nice pick off out of Pika there. Now this essentially signals the end to this attack, so very nice defense. Very nice defense out of Pika there. So Dimon on 3 refineries should have his tier 2 up by now and his airfield, while Pika also 3 refineries and most importantly has 4 vindicators. So the 4 vindicators are going to be very helpful this game. He really has to get up a second airfield or a naval yards to defend them in the water for some hydrofoils. Some anti-air as soon as possible, because little does he know this airfield is out in play. As soon as he gets into this base, if he sees the airfield, it will be his primary target without a doubt. And here he moves in, sees the airfield, he's got to go for it, right? He has to go for it. There he goes, airfield falls down. Only 2 twin blades have came out in the meantime. 2 twin blades are out, and one of them is going over to harass this refinery at the top. So this just being built out of the Allies player. So it's going to be 4 refineries for the meantime for Pika. Oh, nice use of that MCV's range here. Building it here does give him vision and range to build these turrets in his main base should he need to. Just deploying here. Also not a bad thing to do. Of course, this will give him an extra build radius in his main base in this refinery should he need to move his MCV again. And of course, just keeps his collector alive. Not too bad at all. So he's not aware of this refinery at this stage, which is working wonders for Pika. This is definitely one of the advantages of getting a hidden refinery like that. It's not harassable. Well, it's not easy harassable anyway. So moves in with all the Vindicators yet again, maybe looking for another airfield, but I think it would be unlikely that we're going to be seeing another airfield at this stage. Bombs the refinery, and if he gets back in time for another bombing run, might be able to pick up that refinery with another straight bombing run there. But these twin blades pick up a power plant and are forced to retreat. But a turret is available now, and I'm assuming this is going to be placed down to pick up both of these turrets, both these twin blades on their retreats. As they maybe come in for the refinery harassment. What's this going to be? Come on, turrets. Come on, turrets. I guess he's forgotten about it. Now there's airfield coming out now again. No, yeah, airfield coming out now again for the Allies player, for the Soviet player, and the Vindicators come in for another bombing run, trying to pick up the refinery, but do get forced back, as there are more than enough bullfrogs to defend this for now. The Twin Blade is doing a lot of work. I mean, there was a turret available. He could have stopped this, but I guess he mustn't have noticed in time. And now the bullfrogs are coming to help them out. And without the power to build the turrets anymore, this could be the time for Dimon to strike. This could be the time for Dimon to deal, like, devastating damage. Possibly game-ending damage. You have to remember, Pika is also on 4 refineries at this stage, and what is coming out of Dimon here? So it's going to be a cooler subs. There's no tier 3 out yet, but the airfield has indeed fallen. War Factory now coming out from the Allies player, not deciding to come for the naval player any longer. Riptide coming out to try and get a little bit of harassment done. Gets picked apart by this cooler sub. Of course, Vindicators come out and save the day. Come out, avenge his friend over there. We're going to be seeing, like I said, a transition into a ground play with this armed facility. So Orbital Drop will get the kill on... Oh, even gets a Vindicator. With, of course, that debris can pick up aircraft. This refinery it's done great work for the Allies player. Dimon not aware of this at all. He thinks he's 4 refineries versus 3 at the moment. Well, 4 refineries versus 2 even. But even with the extra money, the game quite hasn't panned out in the way that Pika has planned. So Dimon still has the lead, still has the economic advantage in every single fight, and now finally it gets scoured. Twin Blade comes in, and now all of a sudden this is going to be the main target for the Soviet army. Collector comes off the line, will deploy, but this will surely fall once this happens. Alice is going to, all his advantage over here is going to be completely taken away. So IFEs come in to try and save the refinery for now, but He's already on this. He's got a terror drone coming out to get the infection as soon as this comes back. More cooler subs come out in play, and this will force the Allies player off the water. Pika, fully aware of this, preemptively moves off land. Will move his MCV into a more safer location, and the Vindies move in yet again to try and get another bombing run off. Forced back yet again by these Bullfrogs. Nice awareness and nice control of these Bullfrogs, keeping them in the right position at the right time. Tier 3 now out of the Soviet player, and I would not be surprised if this is a Dreadnought. A Dreadnought would be an excellent move, and a Kirov coming out as well. Dreadnought in the water with nothing to do. When he has pure control of the water with the twin frog and cooler subs that he has, there is no real way of stopping a Dreadnought, and there it is. Dreadnought comes out now, and he's going to be bombarding from afar. So Pika trying. Oh, so what happened to that terror drone? Guess someone have died. Nevertheless, these Vindicators trying to get a little bit of damage off on these. Trying to get a little bit of damage off on this Dreadnought, but not getting anything at all. Whoa, that MCV died. Pika realizes there's no way he can kill this army. Sells off. So Dimon's actually going to go 3-0 up in the series. Pika has to win 4 games in a row. Is he going to manage to do it, or is Dimon going to get the clean sweep? Let's find out as we go to game number 4. Hello and welcome to another Red Alert 3 livecast. I'm GBH Michael, and this is going to be game number 4 of the finals of the For the Win number 48 championship. On the left of the map, we have the purple Soviet player. It is Dimon. And on the top right, we have the red Allies player, none other than Pika. So Pika down 3-0 in this series. He's got to win 4 games in a row if he wants to come back and win this thing. Definitely no easy thing to do at all. Especially against a player like Dimon. But Pika already starting with the bear spam, trying to pick off this engineer to begin with. Lots and lots of bears already out, and the engineer also out to get the kills off when Ren roared. So the bear spam, that dog spam, did not work at all for the Allies player. And just got some free kills, Dimon there. And he has a lot of bears to back this up as well. So going for probably both engineers now, going for the one on the left for free, and the one on the right as well, as he now should be able to take this. So 2 barracks start from both players over here. But Dimon definitely getting the better side of the engagement to begin with. Needs to get more bears out. Needs to be careful from this roar from the high ground. 3 more get roared, but at what cost? These bears need to come out in abundance much faster. But to be fair, there are so many conscripts, this Peacekeeper force will struggle to advance. MCV moving in for the MCV push, but will it be able to even do anything? I mean, this conscript force and this bear army, it's going to kill this entire Allies force. And once that happens, whoa, this is going to kill a lot of bears with his crushers here. If he can get some nice rows off on his infantry, he can get some crushers off with his MCV, and that would be excellent. But I mean, a lot of the Allies army has died there, and he's wasted a lot of money on those bears and on those dogs and peacekeepers, which no longer are really that helpful. And the MCV, stopped in its tracks, needs to move in for the turrets as fast as possible. Whoa! I think, yeah, I guess he lost too many units. That's it. A little bit anticlimactic, but I guess if you go for an MCV push, you need the money, and he spent too much money on the dogs and the peacekeepers, and yeah, that was that. So a little bit anticlimactic, and I mean, would expect more, would hope for more for a tournament final game, but nevertheless, this is sometimes how Red Alert goes. It's very micro-intensive, and those split-second decisions can make all the difference. So there we go. Dimon takes the 4-0 victory in the finals against Pika there. Congratulations to him. He will go ahead with the first place prize. Pika will take second. And so thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.